Back in my bag, yo. Conscious. ISO. Diamond. Back in my bag and I gotta brag, I do this shit for real. When we was down and we had nothing, we had to share a little. We put the shit in overdrive with no steering wheel. Shorty throw that thing back in a pair of heels. Yeah, she be riding on that thing like a Ferris wheel. Yeah, I love them dark skin, brown skin, caramel. You know I had to bring it to the hood like she Karen Civil when she keep on turning head. Cause when she walk that thing jiggle, and we going back to back on them like we Huey and we Riley. This that back in my back flow, we back again so highly. This that back in my back flow, we back to change the climate. This that back in my back flow, we bring the force like Tommy. Back in my back flow. Back in my, yeah, back in my bag, yeah. I'm back in my, I'm back in my bag, yeah. I'm back in my, this my, back in my bag flow.
Back again, yeah, we keep on stacking it, what's happening? Everything in Gucci got me feeling like I'm dapper then. Life has been a movie, yeah, so shout out to the cameraman. Pull up to the scene, it's going down like an avalanche.
Steady going up like a travel plan. Homer Simpson face, lucky power plant. Yeah, I'm off that dope, like I'm back again to Vizzy. At the Millies, out on Club Hearst. Give the word if it's a cinch, Lord forgive me. Still having motion, dog, so why would I slow it? Make it rain on them, bust a band, then you throw it. We was steady having She be like, baby, where you going? Never slowing down, it's enough to go around. Yeah, you probably knew it's then, but really you don't know it's now. Niggas let it show and tell, but all my niggas know me well. It was either chase a dream or go to jail, but none of us ain't going back to back on them like we Huey and we Riley. This that back in my back, flow, we back again so highly. This that back in my back, flow, we back to change the climate. This that back in my back, flow, we bring the force like Tommy. Back in my back, flow. Back in my, yeah, back in my bag, yeah. I'm back in my, yeah, I'm back in my bag, yeah. I'm back in my, this is my, back in my bag, flow, Yeah, not for real. Double I. Do or die, you already know. Don't try. This at home,
Here's Milky, the marvelous milking cow. It's fun to milk her, gonna do it right now. She drinks the water when we pump her tail. She's raising her head, it's milking time now. Her pretend milk is a feeling the pail.
She drinks water and gets pretend milk.
Milky, the marvelous milking cow.
Hey guys, you didn't hear me at first, but I bet you can maybe hear me now. What is up? This is a random, kind of recurring, short midday stream I'm going to do a couple of times a week. And they can be educational or they can just be chatty. So it's kind of going to be up to you guys. We're going to hang out for a little bit. And I'm going to say hey to everybody. We can sharpen a knife. We can chill. We can just hang out for a few minutes, talk about knives, talk about lives. I'm just chilling. Ed Harrison was in here earlier. What is up, Ed? Angelo, brother, what is happening? Marco, what's up? Good to see you, dude. Fed and Angelo are channel members, as are Scott Brew 72. What is up, man? Hey, my comments aren't going up on the screen. Are y'all seeing my comments when I put them up? Donzo, do you see my comment when I put it on the screen? Oddly enough, it's not showing it to me. But what's up, Donnie? Bless Knives, good to see you, buddy. We got Acid Test Kids in the house. We got Bama Ninja Timmy in the house. Brother Fed Harrison, channel member. Dude, I hope you're feeling better. We got Joe Isabella in the house, channel member. I know you guys are going to be popping in and out because it's the middle of the day. But that's why I'm here, because I don't do things during the day and I am awake. I'm going to go over to my mom's in a little while, about an hour, and blow leaves out of her gutter. So wish me luck. Wish my victory over gravity. So yeah, Acid Test Kids, what is up? What is up? I'm hearing weird stuff in my headphones, but I think it is because I hear my cell phone that I've got over here looking down at my sharpener. So y'all tell me if you hear bad audio. Nizer Life, what is happening, brother? Good to see you. Mimo's in the house. Good to see you, Mimo. Fred the Lug, what is going on, buddy? Glad to see you on a random pop-up live. There'll be a pop-up random. It's not random because I've got it scheduled. 10:15 on Thursday, too. Just short hour or so, depending on what goes on. Could be shorter, could be longer. Really just to say hey and check in with you guys and maybe do some educational. I was going to take apart my TRM Bulldog today and put in skiff bearings, which I could do. But I just have a feeling that is going to be more of a challenge because TRMs their shadow locks, their bar locks are a little different in that you've got to take the thumb studs off and, really take the scales off. Then you got to take the liners out. It's just a lot. It's a lot. I've got the bearings. I'll probably do it as a video. That way, if I screw it up, I can put the burning school bus on the thumbnail. What is going on, Roman M? Yeah, I just don't want y'all to sit through something that's just painful. But sometimes that's good entertainment. Ron Crow, what is going on? I do see the comments. They're popping up at the top. Yeah, I usually don't do these portrait lives. Nick Martino, what's going on? But it brings new people in. I thought I'd try it out a couple of times. Like I said, shortly during the week, I'm still going to do. Thanks, Fed. I see it up there too, buddy. I'm going to basically, what is up? What is up, Dan? Good to see you, buddy. Dan B07's in the house. But yeah, we're just kind of chilling out and killing time before I blow leaves. But what I was saying is, since I'm not currently working, I figured during the day I usually just watch content or film content, and why not do a little short live content and doing it portrait. What is up, Scotty at Aries EDC? What is going on, buddy? Y'all check Aries EDC and Blessed Knives out on Instagram. Aries has a YouTube channel. You know, you guys are all aware of that. Streams over on out of the shop where he's making his stuff happen, making it happen. And I'm not prepared with links. So I am going to try to get set up in the background. What is up, Crispy Critter? My buddy and channel member. Yeah, Nick, I know. And see, what I'm trying to get my handle on, and I guess it's just basic insecurity, is not knowing what the guys in chat want. You know, like if you guys just want to talk about knives, if y'all want to ask questions and have me try to, with my limited knowledge, answer them, or if we want to do things that are instructional. I'll be honest with you. When I watch lives, I don't watch a lot of live sharpenings, live disassemblies, stuff like that, but I will watch content on it, especially if I'm looking to learn how to do something. So I love doing the pop-up lives. And the reason I call these pop-ups, even though they're going to be currently scheduled a couple of times a week, because I look for gaps in the schedule, is I'm still going to do the Tuesday night regular landscape mode insomniacs, right? And then I'm also going to do Friday night flicks. For now, both of those I'm going to continue to do, and do those just as regular streams with guests, whatnot. So unscheduled, no, it's good. Yeah, guys, you have to understand that, and some of you that have met me at Blade Show know I am kind of a squirrel. I've got a very distractible brain, so it's not uncommon for me to flitter around, whether I'm talking about knives, which I've got a lot beside me, but I don't have any on the table because I've got the TS Prof out there. But the other thing, squirrel, what is up, Wes? Space Ghost, what is happening, my man? What is happening, my man? Nick, that's why I love, and that's why I started a channel. I started a channel. Well, I started it 10 years ago so my daughter could upload a couple of videos for a class that she had because she was too young. Edgy, I know, man, but you know me, I'm a people pleaser. That's one of my flaws. I learned that about myself in therapy and AA. But you're gonna do what you're gonna do, right? So, and then the great thing is my brain is so scattered that I will forget the beginning of a sentence sometimes before the end of a sentence. Sometimes if I'm focused or I'm hyper focused on something, I might stay on a subject or something too long. So the good news is you guys can always log out if I'm sharpening something or if I'm taking something apart or if I'm breaking something or if I'm just talking weird stuff, right? Said Stevie, what is going on, brother? What is going on, mofo? I hope you were chilling today, dude. I knew you were getting ready to get hard at it starting the beginning of the year. But I thoroughly enjoyed while we're all here, since Edgy's in the house and Donzo is in the house. I thoroughly enjoyed I like the weekly grind, but we'll call it whatever we call it. Edgy stripper pole, Sunday night live. I thought that was great. Conversation was great. Stevie's getting snow. Sweet. Last night was great, guys. I mean, that to me, and again, I don't know if other people saw it, but just judging the chat, because all I was doing was trolling in the chat. And I think that's what a lot of us come to do is troll the chat, troll each other. And when I was joking about Donnie Spurgeon out, that's something that I think's just funny when people are passionate about what they're passionate about, right? And I thought it was just good fun. I enjoyed it. I had a blast. Richard Hopkins, what is up? Absolutely, man. We all need a little help, a little love. I get by with a little help from my friends, but love is just fine too. But yeah, guys, that's if you guys did not watch that live stream last night, I would urge you to go through, watch it, scan through it. There's some golden moments in there. It went full circle from knives to politics to alien insertions. I mean, there was all kinds of things. There was even little people talk. Um, there was a lot of ribbing. Um, Amen, brother. And I've got a guilty pleasure that I will also get high alone, but that's just me. I look at it as medicine. It's funny, because even I think a lot of us that are in there that know each other just kinda have to and there I'm not gonna talk about the crazy channels I watch, but there's this one stupid channel, and if they're gonna say something and rib each other, they'll say, what do they call it? Boot scoot goofing. So they'll say some fucked up comment to somebody, and then they'll type in boot scoot goofing, and then that supposedly disarms the person that they rallied against, right? But I didn't think it was anything, I think it's just funny to watch, even as me, who knows a lot of most of you guys or of you guys, go at each other and wonder, "Oh my god, this is kinda descending a little bit. This is getting ugly." And then realize that it's just fun because, again, that's what it's all about, goofy boots. That's just to get people from getting butt hurt. I love that. I love the fact that cunt's a term of endearment in, most countries. And it used to be one of the words you couldn't say on TV, according to George Carlin. He was before most of y'all's time. I don't even have my little fixed blades over here to show you guys. I'm folded up. Unless y'all want to see. I think I've shown you this. It's over there too. Oh well. It'll be a folder day. Now, I'm carrying with a clip that said Stevie sent me that has such good retention on these thick pants. I'm carrying my little Hinderer half track. Warning, I'm not used to this. And I'm carrying my Jack Wolf Feel Good Jack because I haven't taken it out of my pocket just because it's in there, it's comfortable, and it cuts stuff good. That's true, Richard. And as crazy as the world is right now, I think for me, and that's what I was kind of getting at. I started my channel before I lost my brain. I started my channel 15 years ago now, probably, to put a couple of videos up for my daughter. But then when the lockdown started, and I was always watching YouTube, but I found the knife community and started buying knives and finding live streams like Grateful Panics, Zach Stuff, Big Red. Those were the main ones I'd watch. Neves, and just the chat was to me life saving in a lot of ways, and hilarious. You know, Nick, they are, and I'll tell you what I gained from appreciating the gunslinger, um, and the other, I forget the other one that came out as a locking knife. What it did is it made me rediscover Pena knives. I'd always stayed away from Pena. Had never been really interested because A, I don't like front flippers, and at the time I wasn't attracted to that traditional style. But I traded last week, I think it was last week, and got it in last week with a brother from another mother, that's in here most of the time, for a Pena Raptor. I don't have it in the case beside me, but that is an awesome little knife, and that's what I've kind of rediscovered. I've not bought a locking Jack Wolf yet. I've got the Feel Good Jack and the Low Drag Jack. Those are the two that I invested in. I went through this little slip joint phase. I think pocket metal helped me discover that, but I picked up along that little hike because it was a short hike. The Apache's awesome. The large, is it the large Apache is the one I reviewed that my buddy A to Z EDC has. He also has the Pena Bravo with thumb studs. and full tie that, and there's one on Blade Binge, or there was one on Blade Binge because I looked at it and thought about buying it, but since I'm not buying knives right now, the Bravo is very unique. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I'm not ignoring y'all. I'm just scrolling on another page. Hey, they got a half track drop point. That's pretty cool. Man, Blade Binge is getting a lot of activity because I was just looking at this knife yesterday and there are already a ton of knives listed above it. I don't think the Bravo would have sold yet. Let me see if I can. Bear with me. Bear with me. I'm scrolling. Oh, there. Okay. I'm getting close because there's that Hapstone. There's a Hapstone sharpener. I'm going to go ahead and share the screen so I don't look like, I don't know how this even works on portrait. So we're all going to learn together. So they got this little Hapstone sharpener. I think he said he paid $199 for it without stones. So I don't know what a great deal that is, but it's there. What I wanted to show you was this Pinion Bravo. I've got a review on it because my buddy A to Z has one of them too. But it's different than all the other pinions I've seen because it's got thumb studs. This one right here. I hope y'all can see that. But that is a very good knife. Flat grind. He has, my buddy A to Z has two Bravos. One's my Carta, and we sent that one to brother Satu for a hollow grind, and it's sick. But this, to me, the Bravo kind of stands out because it's got thumb studs. It's got a front flipper too, but you can reverse slick it, and you can own it for $239. Is that a great deal? What I always do on Blade Binge, and I do it on every sale that I've bought, beside that I've been on and bought. I've sold it. Have I sold anything on Blade Binge? I know I had I don't think I've sold anything yet on Blade Binge. What's up, G-Ball? G-Bizzle. What's going on, brother? Neil McKenzie, what's up? My chat scroll where it usually stays. Colby, what's happening, my man? Yeah, but that Pinion Bravo is an awesome knife. And again, for what I was going to say is I bought probably 5 or 6 knives off the Blade Binge. I bought my SPK Lamia. I bought my Griffin Scout 2.5. I bought a two shed knives. I bought several others, but for example, on the Lamia, I would have just scrolled right past it. But instead, I clicked into the listing. I messaged the guy and I said, hey, interested in the knife. Would you consider an offer closer to table? And he came back with an offer that was much more reasonable to me, and it saved me money, and I bought it. And you can do that because, see, what happens is, as you guys know, there are fees that when you list a knife for sale, that doesn't mean that's how much is coming to your pocket, right? Because there are fees, transactional fees and stuff. I wouldn't recommend doing this, and I don't condone it necessarily, even though it's been offered up to me and I took advantage of it. If you start chatting with somebody about a knife, they can pull listings off Blade Binge. I'll leave it at that. So they can end that listing anytime. For those of you who need more wink, wink information about what I mean by that, it's always good if you see a knife. Meersalt, what's up, brother? If you see a knife that you like on Blade Binge, message the seller. Have a little dialogue with them. They might offer to, pull it and not put it up for sale and just do a bro deal. And that's all I'll say about that. But usually you can get a good deal through Blade Binge because as a buyer, hey, Jay, what's going on, bud? Good to see you, man. As a buyer, you get protection through Blade Binge, right? So there is a huge, advantage to buying through Blade Binge if you don't know or don't feel comfortable with the credibility of the seller. Because that's what we talk about a lot in the community. You've always got to look out when you're buying knives. Yeah, they are. And Mersault, the reason that's what I was just saying. That's why the message system in Blade Binge is so useful to go into the listing and message the seller, because the seller, because I've listed a knife, I listed my PMP Tianto on Blade Binge. I got it down for as low as 350. I think out of that, I forget how much they take. I don't know if it's 7% or what. And then I had shipping. But anyway, long story short, I delisted it because it didn't sell. My buddy A to Z is an eBay seller. He doesn't sell a lot of knives on eBay. He sells some. He sells a lot of stuff. That's one of his main sources of income. But we listed it on eBay. It brought 475 in about 4 days. Yeah, that sounds about right. It's something like that. Nick Martina, that Alabama hammer is so freaking cool. Are you talking about the big chopper that he was showing last night? Or are we talking about the hatchet? But yeah, Mersault, blade bins, that's why if you start engaging the seller, I've had people that I know when I see that they're selling a knife, I'm like, dude, I'll buy that from you direct. Wink, wink. The chopper. I was going to try to put it in the text, but I didn't think Shane would find the humor in it. And I knew that I was misspelling everything because I thumb type and watch it on Apple TV. So I can't see either. So I'm always misspelling words, but he's called it a Spanish razor. And I said, no, I'm saying to myself, it's a modified, what is it? One arm jack. Are those the slip joints that have that same little cut in them so that the Civil War vets could put them on their hook and open them? So I think the Choppa has a modified one-arm jack blade instead of a Spanish razor. But that is, I'll say this about Edgy, and I can fellatiate him because he's my friend, but this is all just objective. He is blowing my mind with what he's making. Absolutely blowing my mind. Doing a great job. And what I know about him, because I talked to him quite a bit, is how he is dialing in every part of his process. You know, for the first batches of knives, he was having a couple of buddies heat treat the knives. That was slowing him down. So he got an oven and he's heat treating his own knives very well, by the way. So just to see that, I think is cool. But that chopper is awesome. I know he's got probably more designs than he can do. And I know he was talking about last night looking for somebody maybe to partner up with it and do some handles for him. And I think you get to a point, especially in a situation like Edgy's in, where his demand is going to continue to skyrocket, and his processes, they'll get better. They'll get more synergetic, but at the same time, looking at people that can do things for you to a quality standard that is either better than you can do, or it saves time, and the cost that it takes from you to get it done is easily recoupable. It makes sense. But there's also the same pitfalls there that he ran into with heat treats. And there was nothing that was nefarious going on. It was just people get busy and life gets busy. So the more that you can control, the better that you are. And I think Scott will attest to this. He is, I know he's very particular in how many slots he offers in a month because he wants to get his knives done, out, and then do more. And I think that makes a lot of sense. And I know that people are very patient to wait on knives. And what I've told Shane is the way he's currently set up with people knowing that I want a knife made by Shane, but I know it's going to take a long time. I don't mind waiting. I'm afraid that still puts pressure on somebody like Shane, even though if I'm that guy that's buying, I don't care if I get it in 6 months. I just want a knife made by Shane. But Shane's thinking, John ordered a knife. I've got to make these other knives. You know, I know how my mind works. We're all kind of prisoners of our own minds. And as long as Shane can keep that separation and know that Yeah, I told him it was gonna be a while and not feel bottlenecked. Don't, because I went through it in the cabinet shop that I used to work in, not making cabinets because I would have no fingers, but I was the marketing guy for a very small cabinet shop that we sold nationally through dealers, um, but logistical nightmares. Trying processes when you've got orders and invoices and you're getting 50, we would get a 50% deposit and 50% when it shipped, and you're chasing payroll and chasing expenses to get stuff out the door. It can become quite a laborious, not very pleasurable uh, endeavor. So I want Shane to continue to love it and do what he likes and make cool knives. Nick, you're exactly right. I was trying to explain it to my mom, because we were talking about imports versus exports, just in a very general sense. And I was talking to her about my experience at an American cabinet company because we made very high end cabinets, but we were in Arab, Alabama, a little small city in Alabama. I don't know how many population it has. Shane probably knows, but we had every week we would have Safety Clean. That's a company that goes around and picks up toxic waste and disposes of it for you and follows all the OSHA standards and does it all the regulation. Well, in a cabinet shop, we were finishing our cabinets. So we were going through a lot of lacquer, a lot of thinner, a lot of noxious chemicals to which we would get about, and maybe they come by monthly, but we would collect them in 55-gallon drums. And that's how our products would be shipped to us. But the costs that we incurred, if you looked at what we were selling our cabinets for, astronomical prices, and what we were, our cost of goods and cost of labor was, it would still be in business today. But you've got like the Safety Clean disposal was like over a grand a month. And then you have all these other things that are always coming up. It's hard to make a business work. And hopefully that'll get better and people continue to get them started and get them profitable and get them done. And I think one of the cool things about this community is everybody kind of bends over to support each other. And I think that's awesome. And it's not because I think it is and it isn't. Because, like, for example, I want to support Forrest, I want a Forrest tank. But I also know that I use my Forrest tanks all the time. I love my Forrest tanks. I carry them more than I take pictures on them. What's up, Gonzo? Miss Gonzo, what is up? Yeah, burnout is real, guys. I'm actually in that burnout cycle right now, in a big way because I was laid off, not laid off. Our whole tier of management, digital management, was eliminated across the enterprise last year, and I'm at this kind of crossroads in my life into I know what I do, digital marketing, but how do I want to do it? Do I want to continue to do it? I know, Mimo, it can be tough depending on where you are, and if you're driving, I hope you're not looking at chat. But yeah, it's life. Life's a trip, and burnout is real. My point was before that happened, I was very, very burned out. I was getting more and more burned out. I was continuing to do it because it was very lucrative, and I'd been doing it for 10 years. The same company. What's going on, Kevin Smith and Knives? Welcome, brother. But I think if you're ever doing or fortunate enough to have a passion project that's also a profitable business or has the potential to become a profitable business, like Edgy American Blade Works, the last thing you want to do is lose the passion. Because the profit is good, because like they say, if it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense. But burnout is real and it's not a lot of fun. It makes it hard to do what you're supposed to do. Um, so I would always know that people that or just as long as somebody's upfront with me, I'm dealing with a situation, not a situation, but what I would consider to be a lackluster shipping customer service situation right now from a particular company. And I won't whine about it. I won't do anything about it, but I won't probably do business with that company again. If that company had said, hey, by the way, it's going to take us, we don't ship except every other Friday. I might say, well, wow, that's excessive. I don't want to deal with it. Or I might be like, that's fine. So my point there is communication on the front end is key, right? So, um, yeah, realistic expectations. What do we do? Under promise, over deliver. But the last thing we want to have happen, and all of us in here have had it happen, is when the person you're trying to get resolution from, they go into witness protection, and you can't. G-ball, it's not a big site. I, I'll talk to you offline, my brother. It's just kind of, it's silly. It's not a big deal. It's not a big purchase. It's just aggravating. Let's see if I've gotten an email back, because I sent an email this morning. Hold on. Nope. No email back yet. I was just following up on it. No, Dr. Drew, dude, as a matter of fact, I don't like the blue pills as much as I like the Tafadil. I'm trying to think what that's a generic for. But anyway, one great thing about AA, besides the fact that it's kept me sober and alive, is I've got a super cool sponsor. And when I was in my relationship, I was looking for something like that, right? And he hooked me up. There's this Indian pharmacy. I forget the name of it. I've got it in my phone, but you can get that stuff so cheap, dude, and shipped to you. I'm sure that Hims and Blue Chew and those things are great, but I could order, and I've got a box with a variety in right back there in my closet for next to nothing. And dude, they work so freaking good. Dr. Drew, dude, that was probably some herbal remedy, man. Yeah, you're exactly right, dude. It was but G-ball, when I tell you offline, you'll know why I don't want to say anything, because it's a newer site. It's Buddy is involved in it. It's not anything that's aggravating yet, because I made the order, I think Thursday. And I know things don't ship. It might be on Wednesday. Good luck. But customer service is key. That's what the point is. The point is, we were talking G-ball about burnout, and then my atypical brain went from burnout can be prevented by communicating up front what your capabilities are, your time frames allow you to do. Mimo, is unfortunate as it is, I do not have any surviving dead shows from tour, because most of the dead shirts I bought were in the lot. They were killer shirts. I had 1990 tour shirts. I had shirts from year round, but they just disintegrated. Oh, the pills, the happy pills that make your wiener like a 16-year-old's wiener. And they were talking about Blue Chew, and Tenafadil is the Cialis. Not, is it Cialis? What are the three? There are three different medications. There's Viagra, I think Cialis, which is the one that works. Cialis is the one that you can take. Dan, what's going on? The thing about Cialis that I liked is I could take it, and it would last all night. So I could take it and not have to be ready right then. Where the blue pill, my understanding is you take it and you have to be ready to use it. What's up, Kathleen? But no, I was just talking about, instead of getting them here, because I had a prescription and they were like $75 or $80 a pill is what it broke down to. And I thought it was ridiculous. So talking to my sponsor, about, because I talked to him about everything at the time. This was 4 years ago. I was talking about how ridiculous I thought it was. He goes, "Oh yeah." He goes, don't use domestic pharmacies for those type of medications. Um, here's one I use, and it's a major one on the website. And you can't order anything that is controlled there, but you can order. And I wouldn't want to order my heart medicine there, but they've got heart medicine there. And it's just generic drugs that come from a Indian pharmacy. And that's where I got my blue pill alternatives. But customer service is key. And for me, customer service is just good communication. I don't mind somebody saying, we can't cover that for you because, and then give me a logical reason, because I don't expect things to last forever, right? I've never had, what's up, Homer? I've never had a situation where any knife company that I dealt with didn't take something back. Now, there are knife companies I won't deal with. Atlantic Knives is one that I've had shitty customer service experiences with. But that's just me. Those were I had 2 orders from them because I don't order from them much. I ordered one knife, the order went fine. Ordered another knife, the knife wasn't what it was supposed to be. They told me it was what it was supposed to be. I was able to get in touch with Russell at CJRB because I know those guys, and learned that no, that was not a knife that was supposed to hit the market. That was a prototype. And he didn't even know who this company was, but it turns out that he does have a distributor that sells to that company. Anyway, so I'm not an Atlantic Knives fan. I personally don't like Knives Center as much, Knife Center, because they don't work with creators at all. And that used to not mean anything to me, but my favorite places to shop for knives, if I'm not trading for knives, which is what I'm doing now more than anything, but DLT, River's Edge Cutlery, and GP Knives. And then I've had great transactions with E-Knives on a couple of Medfords, and they're real close to me. They're in Chattanooga. But yeah, so there, and White Mountain Knives. I've always had great transactions with White Mountain Knives. Trying to think who else, if I'm leaving anybody out. Smoky Mountain Knife Works. They work. I used to buy I just haven't been buying it lately, but all my Freedom Pills, my PPU ammo, I buy there because they're just one state over. And but those bigger companies take a couple of days to ship, whereas somebody like DLT or River's Edge Cutlery usually ships that day when the order comes in. I'm not a fan of titanium scales. For example, I've got 2 of these Axial Alpines. These are great little MagnaCut USA made knives, but this has got a titanium scales. Hopefully will start selling scales. But I've also got a DLC Tonto with G10 handles, and I much prefer the G10. I mean, the titanium feels good. It's smooth. Got other knives with titanium handles, but I prefer a micarta or a G10 on my fixed blades. I don't mind resins, but I do like a little grip. I would say probably my favorite, probably between carbon fiber and micarta, but grip wise, I think it's micarta for my fixed blade. A good micarta handle is hard to beat. And it's soft, and it's kind of keeps the temperature. It does, Nick, but I'll tell you, the carry weight to me, because this is the biggest fixed blade I own. This is my TRM camp knife. I'm just a TRM fanboy. But on my little tiny knives, which are the ones I carry every day. What's up, Dwayne Letterman? Welcome, buddy. Good to see you. But the ones I carry every day, the titanium is not a problem. It just increases the weight a good bit. Even on a knife as small as a chickadee that has a little bitty scale, at micarta, I don't know how much difference, but it's considerable in terms of carry feel. G10, carbon fiber, micarta is going to be lighter, in my opinion, even if they're very well milled. But I've also got so I've got a nori neck axe, which is the most ridiculous, one of the most ridiculous little tools I've got. Let me get the chain off it and I'll show it to you. That's a Midgard Messer nori neck axe. And this one came with either G10 or with titanium handle. I got the titanium. It's dimpled and it feels good, right? For a small knife, I'm not mad at it. The only reason I bought it is for shorts. This thing, every time I do a short of it, it gets about 10 to 13,000 views. I don't know why people watch it, but it does have a cool sheath. That's probably why. You've got these magnets and this little lever here, and then it's got a little belt clip if you don't want to wear it as a neck axe. But it just sticks to the magnets, and then you take this little lever, and that locks it in. So I think that's why people think it's cool on video. But the other thing I was going to show you is this is a great knife. This is the Big Idea Design Company Lookout. Basic little drop point knife. This one's got titanium handles. This one is OEM'd by Best Tech. They are in Chattanooga. They also make this knife in MagnaCut in Chattanooga. It's about $70 more. But you can get this with micarta handles. I got one with titanium, and I like it because it's a small knife, but the weight, I can only imagine, is considerably higher. But it doesn't bother me because, again, I'm carrying smaller knives, usually in my back pocket. He did titanium, Nick, and his titanium, that's where you can really feel the difference, because I can't remember the new drop point he did, but I've got an Axon. And this has probably got one of the most comfortable grips, because they do this. You can get it in titanium or carbon fiber. But for me, the chamfered micarta, it's just a more organic feel on a grip. That's a big knife. I say big. It's not going to be big by y'all standards. It's going to be big by my standards. My sweet spot is anywhere from 6 to 7 inches. This guy is 8 inches, right at 8 inches. So it's the exact same size as my folding Axon, just thinner. I bought it because I love the design. The only Vero knife I own. Hey, MPG EDC, welcome, girl. Good to see you. But the only reason I bought this knife, it was one of the earlier fixed blades that I got, is because I'm such an Axon fan. It's the only Vero design that I really connected with. I like the isotope. One of them's an integral, and it was always too expensive. And then I'm trying to think. What was it though? I'm trying to think of the name of the one that there was the Neutron. The Neutron's a little double detent, right? There's one that I really like that's got the little blade indentation only on the flipper side. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up real quick instead of sounding like an idiot, because I should know that. I used to know all his designs. I'm not as much of a huge fan of Vero as I was. Nothing of their fault, just kind of got over it a little bit. But the one that I'd like is called uh, yeah, the Isotope Suite and the hold on, I'm about to show it to you when I find it, guys. The Synapse. I like the Synapse, but I've never bought one. Because I kind of got over the Vero thing. I think the more I learn about overseas manufacturing, I think this is a beautiful design. I love the way the show sides looks clean. You don't have anything there. And then you've got your little reverse flick indentation and your low profile flipper tab. I think they're really cool. I'm just not buying $350 knives right now. Chrissy put a link up. I can't, let me see if I can click on it over here. I can't click in StreamYard. See what he's sharing. Whoops. All right. I'm not ignoring y'all. Awkward silence is me trying to navigate behind the curtain here, which is you guys who have come to any of my lives before know I'm not very good at it. But I want to click this link because that is Miss MPG EDC's page. And if you're not subbed to her, she has a fantastic live stream. She goes live the same time Edgy does on Sunday nights. When Edgy's not live, I'll always stop in there. I'm going to share it too. But yeah, you guys share each other's site. Y'all share each other. What's up, Mad Yako? Cody Campbell, what is up? The new Vero Protect does look very cool. Absolutely does. I think the Chavez Protect looks very cool. I'm also bummed that the Strider Protect collab has come to an end. I've got the PT, I've got a couple of Protect Striders, and that was, and I've said this, I'm glad Kyle Coonley's not here because he'd remind me that I've told this story 100 times, but I was never into the Strider design. It was never a knife that I even looked at or would consider until I took a chance and got a Effingro 225. And from that, I liked the design, but I wanted a bigger one or a smaller one because that was about the biggest size. This is SMF sized, and this is the little guy. But these are Protects that they're no longer going to be able to make, but they're in stock places. So if you were ever wanting a Protect PT, which is a smaller version, these are harder to find. I was lucky to trade for this from with the brother. But my point was, I even then worked with Scotch and Things to have him find me a real Strider, a knife that for 2 years I never looked at. I'd seen them. I just was never attracted to them. They didn't do anything for me. When I ordered the Effingro, which I got a lot of shit for, even though I don't know if it's a clone or not, because it's, I mean, it's a copy, but whatever it is, I realized that there was something special about the grip, even though it was super big. Hey, Gabe, what's up? But it made me understand, even though it wasn't the real thing, that I wanted to dive deeper into Strider collabs and Strider knives. So the Protects were the easiest point of entry. And then, you know, you can go, this is, I would say, an entry level Strider. I don't know the intricacies of the differences, but it's got a G10 crosshatch go side, and it's just got the flame tie lock side, has absolutely no lock stick. The ergos are great. And again, it's a knife. The point of my rant was I was never ever attracted to striders, just like I was never attracted to slip joints, just like I would never even look at fixed blades for the first 2 years that I was collecting knives. I had no use for a fixed blade. First fixed blade I bought was an SE3 and S35VN because I just wanted to try it out. I was going camping or something. There was some reason I got it. But then, what's up, Nick? Good to see you, buddy. But then I think Lefty is the one that got the Chickadee, or I think that was when he got first, and I thought it was cool. I didn't want that expensive of a knife. I ended up buying it from Lefty later, but I went and got a Tucson. This particular one is one that Joe Isabella sent me where he did the custom scales on it. But this was the first tiny fixie I bought. I've given a couple of these away on live streams, but it's a tiny little 4.5-inch S9EV knife, just to give you an idea on how much smaller it is than a Chickadee. Needless to say, I bought this to see if I would carry a small fixed blade. And when I realized I really liked it, I bought this particular S9EV Chickadee from Brother Honey Bear at a really good price. And then I ended up buying Lefty's Magna Cut with Kyle Coonley edge. Liked it so much, I picked up a 20 CV Chickadee on River's Edge Cutlery's drop. And then I started branching out into then I started realizing that I carried, even though I didn't cut anything, I live in the city and I open packages and cat food and random shit. I carry a fixed blade, I carry a folder, and I carry a slip joint. Don't use my slip joint as much. The 150s are great, crispy. These little knives, this one, again, has custom handles, but you can get into these for under $70. And there are a lot of knives, small knives that you can get for under $70 just to see, even if the knife's not perfect, just to see if it's something that you would carry. For me, I will carry small knives like this with a strap appendix right to the right of my belt buckle horizontally, but it's not my preferred method. I'd much rather have it in my back pocket with an ulti clip or with a oh, Cody, I'm so jealous. The Hail Marys, I think, are the sexiest, one of the sexiest knives out there right now. Let me show you guys what Cody's talking about. Let's jump into Instagram real quick. The Hail Mary is a much more usable size for more average people, I would say. People that are using their knives to get stuff done, not just open cat food, Amazon packages like I do. But Jacob does this stuff in his little, I guess it's a little shed. He's got a couple of videos, but that's the Hail Mary. I don't know if y'all can see those. Those are crew wear. Those are Tantos. You got drop points. You got spear points. And they are just, I think, very, very sexy builds. Minimalistic, but cool. Very, very cool. Congratulations, Cody. That is a great knife. They do look dope. I'll tell you, there's some other really cool ones. That's funny. That's funny. But yeah, what is it? Is it BMG blades? Hold on. There's several small makers that I would love to eventually get a knife from. MG. No, that's not it. Go here. Check this out too. If you guys like the Hail Mary, we saw a Tanto, a drop point, and a spear point. The Vanguard Mary pre-order is tomorrow at 10 a.m. Z-Ware. I'm not familiar with Z-Ware steel. Serbius Knives. That's a company that I think they're super, super dope. Small fixies, guys. I'm addicted to them. I think they're awesome. So Serbius makes the Riot, and go right here. And this knife, if I'm not mistaken, is a little bit longer than the Chickadee, which is a good thing. But he makes a lot of really, really cool knives. Some of my favorites, you've got Colin McGuire at Mag 10. He has a little forge too. But Colin, this is one of my favorite knives. This is the EDW. I'll show you mine in a second. The handle looks very similar. But I bought mine at the Nashville Custom Knife Show. It's got a G10 lime liner is what he's showing there. And he does a little taco kydex sheath. But he makes, I'm not a big Damascus guy, but he makes his Damascus. So he buys these little billets. I think that's what you call them. And he puts them in this little oven. He's up in Rhode Island. Talk about kitchen knives. Ruh-roh. This guy is just next level, and he's such an easy guy to talk to, and he is so humble. It's like he's surprised, or he genuinely appears surprised that people find his knives neat, that people want them. Just, small maker, big time. But that's how he starts with his Damascus. So he's not buying Damascus, right? He's making his own Damascus. So anytime you see Damascus, and he can tell you if you ever had the pleasure of meeting him at a knife show, of how he does these different Damascus. He does, and I asked him about this, and he says some people like these proud scales. They cost exactly the same as the full scale, which I prefer. I hate these type scales. I've got them on some knives, but he says some people really prefer those. He makes cool knives. But that's one. And then you've got a guy who lives real close to us, Justin Driver Defense Knives. And he makes a couple of cool little fixed blades. He makes some really cool folders. This is a splinter. I've got a splinter in Magna Cut, but he just made the splinter extract, which is a little bit smaller and thinner. But he makes swords. I mean, if we get into his stuff, he makes amazing folders. I've got it. Whoops. How'd that happen? Can y'all still see it? Am I sharing? Yes, I'm sharing. All right. So he makes really cool folders by hand. I've got a review on one that my buddy A to Z bought, but interesting knives. And then let me find you a sword, then I'll show you another cool maker. He took these to Blade Show. Those are badass. Opakashis is what they say that they are. And then, of course, we've got, whoops. We got Shane, Edgy American Blade Works, right across the mountain here, making killer knives. Just outstanding knives. And then you've got Donzo, making handmade heat without the aid of any CNC type of machinery. All those jimps are filed by hand. Yes, it looks like it's off center because it's a chisel grind, but it's not off center. He makes the clip, he makes the back spacers. And I'll show you real quick once he opens this. That's the chisel side. That's what the customer wanted. Badass shit. But when you look at, when he gets like scotches, there's a picture of the parts of the knife that he cut out. So that Scotch and Things knife that he carries every day, the only thing Donnie buys is the hardware. Everything else he makes by hand. And on this particular knife, he made a lock bar insert. I forget where I saw that, but he had to hand make a lock bar insert. I mean, dude. That's getting it done right there. That's doing it. I don't care who you are. But just so much talent in the community and in the chat and awesome stuff. What's up, Henry? Flyway Tuna. I'm not aware. Thank you, Mad Yako. Let me pull him up. I'm going to follow him. It doesn't look like he's showing any of his yet. But I gave him a follow. I'll share him here for you guys. If anybody wants to check out Flyway Tuna. And any of y'all are all welcome to share links with each other. If you've got your own socials. Do I follow Dan? I don't know. Let me look. Good question. And most of these people that I follow, I've learned about from you guys. And ARR. The only thing bad about these. I'm going to take it down so I can read it. CARRAHER. RRAHER. He a golfer? Hey, Nick, drop a link if you don't mind. I can't find him, and I'll tell y'all. I know it's terrible. It is the worst. The reason I did it, Kathleen, and the reason I'm going to do a couple of weeks of these just little pop-ups, and we're about to end this one because I wasn't planning on going for just about an hour because I know there's other things going on, but is to try to see if, let more people discover the channel, see if more people see the channel, um, bring more people into the community. Stevie's had a lot of good luck, and they come to my chats now. I mean, people that have come into the community simply because they found it on a pop-up. All right, so here is Dan. I want to share the screen one more time. Yes, very cool. All done by hand. Very, very cool knives. I'm going to share one more with you guys real quick. That looking at this made me think of. This is a guy up in Jackson, Tennessee. The name got away from me. Yeah, if I could blow myself up the whole size, and when you have like a guest on, like if I was going to bring my sharpening stuff in and do my little sharpening, I could either do it side by side, or you can stack it. It did it differently earlier. It was doing it on top of each other. That's weird. But yeah, it's hard. I like the peaceful stream behind it. I had one with waterfalls, a background. What's up, Joseph S? We're just getting ready to pop off. I'm doing these little random daytime, since I'm not working now, little hour streams. Time to check in. I'd planned on sharpening a knife, but I felt like that might be boring. And I just wanted to say, hey, check in. I'm going to do another one Thursday morning, I think at 10:15. Short one. Try to keep it to about an hour. Tonight, Metal Mondays over on Pocket Metal channel. Tomorrow night, late, Insomniacs live. Luke, thank you, dude. I'm not the GOAT, but I'm an old son of a bitch. That is for sure. And then Thursday at 10:15 a.m., if I don't sleep through it, I've got a live scheduled that'll be like this one, and then Friday Night Flicks. But guys, I love each and every one of you. I've got to go blow leaves out of my mom's gutters because I told her I would, and that's what we do for our moms, right? I love each and every one of you. I do ask that you please look out for the guy or gal to your left. Please look out for the guy or gal to your right. Look out for each other. Go forward with love in your hearts. And choose debate, not hate. Another thing that was brought up, go watch Edgy American Blade Works live from last night. Because the point that Donnie was making is a very, very true point, that we all need to talk more about things that we are passionately opposed on. And politics is never a fun subject. It's never a good live stream subject, but talking is better than hating. Debate, not hate, guys. I love y'all. Peace. I will catch you soon.
None of y'all really fucking with us.
I'm back in my bag, yo. Conscious. ISO. Diamond. Back in my bag and I gotta brag, I do this shit for real. When we was down and we had nothing, we had to share a meal. We put the shit in overdrive with no steering wheel. Shorty throw that thing back.